Hi, Vidur. Firstly, congratulations on your life-changing decisions. I can see your LinkedIn extremely changed. Let's talk about that first. What changed from shifting from McKinsey to doing all of the things that you're doing right now? I would love to hear it from you.
Oh, wow. I think we'll have to divide this into two episodes because that's going to take up most of the time. But
That means your
let,
2024 or a little bit of 2025 was very productive.
let's put it like that. Let's hope it was productive. But have been up to a lot of things. Have been in the insurance space. Have been advising some of the insurance companies, brokers, really trying to tie the dots between AI and the current processes. I have been advising some of the startups. I've been advising some of the bigger carriers. So really, in the AI mix of it, in the operations, in the whole transformation journey, really helping the carriers out, really pushing the answer forward in the insurance space.
I think I don't know what I think you should get an award just to achieve so much in a year. This is amazing achievement. Congratulations to you for such a massive change in your career. And I can definitely see. I think you're sleeping, eating, walking AI. So you are a walking AI model.
That's you put it in a very nice way. So thank you for that. I think AI and the work which is being led by some of these organizations like AI 2030, which is pushing the answer forward for responsible AI, or Rise Professional, where they are really pushing the insurance the people and their leaders forward. So these are some of the things that get me really passionate, and that is why I'm involved in these organizations. Apart from my day job, this is mostly my night job, or whenever I can take out time to give back to the society. I feel very empowered when I'm doing that.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that because you are at that stage that you can do that now. And I understand what you're saying because I also come with the similar thought process that it's time that we give back to the society. Enough we have taken from it. Okay, I would like to know, we are talking about AI. I do think that the insurance industry is AI ready or we are not yet there. I would love to know from you that.
Ah, I feel it's the question is more around how can we use AI? We are never going to be ready. We'll never have the 100% answers for all the risks which are involved with AI. But does AI solve some of the pain points that are inherently inbuilt into our insurance industry? I would say the answer is yes out there. And if you think about insurance, right? Insurance industry, although a lot of people are gonna think insurance industry is always the lagger of all the different industries, but if insurance industry is the industry which has been pushing all the innovations forward, whether it be the invention of the underwriting lab, right? That is what actually helped us put all the bulbs out there. Otherwise, there was almost a legislation in New York to ban electricity, to ban light bulbs in anything which was non-commercial. It was the insurance industry that pushed for the standardization of electric bulbs, and that is the same standards that we are currently using. Even the fire engine was an invention of the insurance industry. So we are not afraid of change. We are not afraid of innovation. It's we are the ones who create the guardrails, build the guardrails around all the innovation and package it in the right way. Otherwise, innovators are going to keep on building out small little tools and setting the world on fire. Insurance is the place where we are setting the guardrails for all the innovators so that they can innovate in the right way.
Now, when we're talking about insurance, I understand insurance is very big, and I understand that your expertise is more into property and casualty, if I'm not wrong. And would you like to like pick up one section of the insurance where you would like to feel that there is a high need of AI, not like just like a wave or a bubble. There's actually a need, genuine need of AI.
Absolutely. If I think about PNC, and I've done, and I do a bit of life as well. But if we go deeper into PNC, which has been my forte, um, underwriting, claims, any place where there's operations, any part of the insurance industry which is operationally heavy, that is where we can definitely use AI. uh, I've heard from so many different carriers and then underwriters, chief underwriting officers, the pain points around underwriting. I hear it all the time that we are capacity constrained. We want to grow much faster than we can, but our underwriting is much slower. We are denying a lot of claims without even looking at them. The bigger players are taking away a lot of the RFQs that are coming to us without our underwriters even getting to them. So these are the places that I believe AI can definitely be a part of the current process and enhance the current process, make it much more efficient. And I would say that is the current need of the hour.
Okay. And why do you think that the current methods cannot survive long enough? So, I mean, why now? Because they've been doing it since I think I've been born. So it is going being well. People are still surviving. Nobody's dying. So why do you think that, now it's enough? It's enough of whatever we were doing, and we need to move to the AI stage.
I'll list the two big things, and there are at least seven to eight of them which are changing in the current scenario. The first one, AI is coming into and playing a part in everybody's day-to-day life, whether it's your banks, whether it's any other work that you're doing. Even the simple email that you're sending out has AI in it. Um, you can think about underwriting in the current form being the bottleneck for any of the submissions which are coming in. Now, think about it. The other bottleneck is from the broker side because most of the commercial RFQs are coming from the brokers, right? So currently, most of the brokerage are not AI savvy. They do not have AI in their whole process, which makes it much slower for them. They have to go around and find the right forms, fill them out, send it to the right insurance company. Uh, think about the first scenario in which the brokers have AI and are AI enabled. I consider this as a floodgate opening. Now you'll get much more RFQs. You would have much more brokers trying to understand where their the quotes are. That is going to create and add an extra burden on the underwriters. The second one that I can think of is you might not be using AI, you might not be leveraging AI, but your competitor is. And as soon as your competitor is gonna use AI, all the broker relationships that you have built up, you have to think about it yourself. Are they going to survive if your competitor is replying back to um, the submission within hours, whereas your underwriters are taking days? And that is where you do need to be ahead of the game. You have to be in that place where you can fight against your competitors as well, who are going to be using AI eventually.
I agree. And I do agree that I think it's more about the technological innovation and the advancement, and that is bound to happen. I think it's just a long time period that people were using it, and now is the right time. And then now people need to switch because if they will not switch, they will not survive. It's as simple as that. The question is not about that it's a good to have. The question is now you have to move to survive, if I'm
And
not wrong, right?
and things have changed, right? If you think about underwriting back in the day, underwriters had to physically go to a home, a building to inspect it, to really
Right.
underwrite it. Things have changed. So
Yeah.
embrace the new change. look at the new way of working. It's just going to buy you more time to look at the policies which actually need your attention rather the ones which are maybe not within your company's appetite.
So let's break it down, this problem, for the benefit of everybody who is not from insurance, to understand um, what is the life of an underwriter right now, and what is the life that will change, let's say, if AI comes in.
Huh. And I think you found the right person to answer that because I've done a lot
Yeah.
of time and motion studies with underwriters to really understand what does their time look like, what does the day look like, and the biggest thing and the biggest and the saddest point is that 40% of the underwriter's time is going in administrative tasks, tasks that are not even the core part. And underwriters are specialized agents. They have expertise in a certain particular field, and you are actually wasting their time in digitalizing the copies, in broker communication, in summarizing the documents, in research, which most likely is going to end up, you're not going to write that because it's not within your appetite, or you've already taken too long that some other player has already taken that policy away from you. Um, I would say that across the whole life cycle of a quote, right? From the time that the broker has submitted the quote to the time that the pricing of the quote has been done and the underwriter is sending it back. There's so many different opportunities of using AI, and there's so many pain points that you see in the current process. One, the brokers complain all the time that the time to get back to them is much longer. I also hear that once they submit the policy, it's very difficult to get a hold of the underwriters because they are too busy. It's very difficult to
Yeah, they move to
prioritize
the
their
next one.
properties.
It's like
And
hopping. They move to the
I
next
know it's
one.
and it's so challenging for a broker, especially if your company has a tie-up with an underwrite with a carrier, and then you are sending it to your preferred underwriter, and they are too slow in processing your request. You're kind of constrained. On the other side, your client is asking you about where their policy is, and you have no answer for them. And then
Yeah.
after a week, the underwriter is going to come back to you asking for more documents. Your client is going to be pissed off at you. You
Yes,
really
yes.
are playing in that weird space. So that's the first one. Then whole digitalization. A lot of carriers haven't gone through the digitalization phase. So all the policies which are submitted, somebody has to manually extract all that information. There are tools out there. OCR is pretty good at this point of time. Accord forms are doing a good job, but still, it's not there. Underwriters or underwriting assistants have to spend a lot of time in digitalizing all that information. And after that has been done, there's no triaging. So, like I said, underwriters spend a lot of time on policies, which at the end, after spending 2 hours on researching into it, they'll see that a restaurant is open past midnight and they cannot write that. That's not within their appetite. I would say it's much better to have a system out there which does the triaging, and it's a red, amber, and green, and the underwriters only focus on the ambers and greens and spend most of their time on the ambers, and the ambers are the ones which are tricky policies, the ones where the underwriter has to write a ski resort, for example, which is tricky. The underwriter has to do some research. They have to figure out what is happening versus something that they do not underwrite. So they shouldn't be wasting their time on that. And then when it comes to pricing, I see a lot of companies have their old ways of pricing. They don't use external data. They don't update their models.
Yeah, they don't.
It's
I
they're
know.
stuck. They're stuck.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of work in
Uh,
that space, so I know how difficult it is to go out and shop for different data sets to really update their models. but that's the need of the hour. If you're not going to do it, you're going to be left behind. And
Yeah.
that's the way insurance works.
And I think that is the reason that underwriting is a very tough ice to crack because it's not just an workflow automation. It's about multiple layers. You have to add the workflow automation. You have to add the AI layer, the actuarial layer, the pricing layer. So that is the reason I think it has been prolonged for so long and no digitization has happened. And that is the why people are like still following the old methods. But like I said, like you are rightly saying that it's the need of the hour now because the competitors are doing it. So if you'll not do it, then you'll get completely washed off. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I hear it all the time. Our data quality is bad. We don't have underwriting
Everybody's data
guidelines,
is
which is
bad. When is the data good? That is why we have data scientists.
I,
It's the whole stream of our career there because data can never be good.
yes, if it was if you had perfect data and if you had perfect rules, you wouldn't need underwriters. Then you have
Yeah.
the policy coming in, you have if else already built in, you have perfectly updated rules. But that's not reality. You have to play within reality, and you can still apply AI even if your rules are not 100% there. If basically your underwriters are using some guidelines of the draft copy, I'm sure we can build out a solution which reads that, looks at what kind of
I agree.
policies
Yes.
you're writing,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's a good enough solution. Yeah, and that is how you should look at it. And you'll have human in the loop. We are not saying that we're going to replace everything with
Oh,
agentic
that is
flows.
that is nonsense. I
So
feel.
I'll give you, like, if I'm creating a solution for you, I'll give you a percentage of how likely it is that this is the correct answer, how likely it isn't, and
Yeah.
if it is below 70%, have your underwriter spend the same amount of time that they were spending, but at least the 20% of the policies which are coming in, I can be 100% sure or 90% sure that I am doing a good job in sussing out whether you should be underwriting them versus not, and reduce your underwriter's time on those policies. And that even that hour that is saved is a tremendous amount of time that you would be saving in 1 year.
I do agree. So let's just talk about your new life altogether. And let's talk about the upchange. Upchange. I don't know why I can't pronounce that. So upchange. Yeah. So there you are advising a lot of insurance carriers. You are also advising startups. So how is the startup environment there? Because I think you are seeing at a view where very few people can access. So you can see the carriers and you can see a lot of startups and their interactions as well. So how is the business out there? Is it good? People are accepting, startups are surviving. I mean, I have so many questions on that.
For some reason, startups are surviving.
Okay,
I,
we are
I,
surviving.
yeah, yeah. So I did a assessment of close to 500 different startups in the insurance space to really understand what is the kind of work they're doing, what is their financial stability, what is the solution they're getting, and got all kind of different startups from recent graduates who came to me and told me that within 3 months we'll figure out every single problem that you have in insurance, and they told me that they know insurance is broken because their dad's friend is in insurance, and over dinner he explained it to them that insurance has so and so difficulties, and these five kids built out a solution for the insurance space.
Kids are very
So
smart these days. I really envy them. I think they are really very smart. I don't think so. I was half of that at their age.
yeah, but I mean, it's smartness is on one side, but then insurance is a complex business. So you really need to understand what is actually going on underneath the hood. I could create, and Google offers that. Every single AI company offers OCR services, right? And it's really amazing. If I just take that and create a startup based on that and say that this is going to solve your insurance problem, I don't think it's a good start for me.
Yeah, I
But
understand what you're saying.
but on the flip side, right? I've also seen some really good startups uh, who are treading carefully. They have the right advisors, they have the right leadership. They're engaging with the right kind of carriers or brokers. uh, I see a lot of optimism around that front. I do also see, and from my own experience, I know it's scary to give up your data. It's scary to share your data with a company, but there are different ways. If the company is mature enough, they're going to find out a way of using your data or anonymizing your data or building it within your four walls or creating a cloud service which is going to be specifically for you. Um, I would say that more and more carriers are getting smarter about it, and they're seeing from other carriers who have done it and have been doing it, haven't seen any risk at this point of time. I feel the risk of not doing it is much greater than the risk of doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So,
risk of not trying and not, getting your shoes dirty. It's more. Yeah.
and it's you said the right thing. It's all about really building out that muscle, really trying something out. Even if you are failing, you're failing in a controlled environment, so that tomorrow when everybody is doing it and you have to do it, you already know what works, what doesn't work for you, and every different organization is different. So you really need to build that muscle. Really need to get out there and give it a try, maybe do a pilot. But I would say that all the companies which are out there who are um, really averse from using AI, it's going to be really hard for them to quickly ramp up at the end. And my advice would be that get your uh, shoes dirty
Yeah.
right now, and
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Yeah, I do agree. And I think now the pilot stage is also not something surviving because, you need to get into serious business with whatever startup you choose or whatever company you choose because it is, in my opinion, there's a lot of patience that is needed for this system. Because once it is created, then the trust, how much trust you're going to have in your system, removing your manual work and then developing the trust there. So all of this needs patience and all of this needs commitment. It's like having a commitment in a relationship. You cannot just say that, okay, for through 6 months you're there and you're not there. So it's like a long-term journey. It's like commitment. So it's more of a trust, I think. So and if I'm very happy to hear that the startups are able to gain that trust because when I had started, I mean, it's been like 3 to 4 years down the line, but that time it was not that easy, to kind of like get that thing. Okay, let's sign that. But I always believe that somebody or the other in the whole world will say yes. So there's room for everyone, no matter how many startups come, how many carriers are there. There's room for everyone, and everyone will find their some space. Somebody will do good in underwriting, somebody will do good in claims, somebody will just do good in OCR. So
Mhm.
let's say a small niche thing. So I think there's room for everybody in this heavy, crazy world of insurance. That's my opinion also there.
Yeah, and one thing that I've learned the hard way is that in this current era, just building out a product and selling it, that is the recipe of going into a product not actually going forward, or a pilot not scaling. You do need to do some hand holding. You do need to do some change management. If you are going into an industry which is so old, they are set in the way of working, you really need to, if you're going to propose a change which is so drastic, you really need to explain why you're creating that change and do that change in the right way. And being a consultant, I understand that, and I get it how difficult it can be to do the change management, to do the adoption, especially in the front line, people who are going to be using your solution, and also the customers who are going to be getting some kind of output from the solution. you really need to have them in your hindsight as you're building out the solution, because you need to make sure that they are using it. It's much easier for it's making their life easier. It shouldn't be just another tool in their toolbox. It should be
Yeah,
that tool
that
that
should
they
be the
miss
valuable tool. Yeah.
if it's taken away. And that's the whole thing about change management. How can you gamify it? How can you make that one tool the most important tool within their arsenal, without which they tomorrow they won't be able to do their work?
Yeah. So now I think I'll come to the last question. So how much time do you think that, when the engagement starts, let's say with a startup, to the time that the insurance company is now, or the carrier is now, whatever pilot they're doing, are genuinely using the system in the like, they say, okay, now the hard work is paying off, or is it still happening? And you've not seen that yet. I think it's that, right?
it's
You've not seen that yet happening.
It's it's a tricky answer, right? There are two ways of putting it, and that is where the building out a strategy for AI transformation is so critical, because that is where you set your mindset, and you what you're going to expect at what point of time. You have to define it before things start, not after things start. So if you bring in a solution and expect on day number two that you are going to save X million, that's never going to happen. How you build it out is you really understand what is the improvement in your relationship with the broker, what is the improvement with the number of RFQs which are coming in, what is the improvement of your quote to bind ratio, and all of these numbers, you'll see a small improvement. And my suggestion is that track it on a daily basis. Track these KPIs that you had built up front while you were defining the strategy. And these small little wins are going to be an indication towards your combined ratio eventually. And its combined ratio does not change overnight, right? You need
Yeah,
to
it takes time. Yeah.
invest in it. But once it changes, that's a big win for you. That's a big win for your company. And in the long run, companies are like, I would say that companies who are using AI are succeeding. But if we are looking at the wrong parameters, you won't see the needle move for you.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I think I agree with that. Okay, so I'm wrapping up here, but I would love to give you the forum to talk about your company, talk about yourself a bit so that people know you, and also how can they find you?
And you can find me on LinkedIn, very active. And I started my career in the insurance space and then moved to McKinsey, where I did consulting and really led the answer forward for how do you do AI transformation, and how do you um, change the way insurance industry and financial institutes are working. How can you digitalize their way of working, or AI enable them? And post that, I opened my own company, which is Upchange, where uh, I'm doing consulting for insurtechs, but also insurance companies, helping them with their strategy, also helping them create some of the products. I have some products which we have built in-house, especially on the underwriting side, given it was the need of the hour. If you don't have the right resources, we already have the products that we can bring in, or we can have done the assessment of a lot of different insurtechs. We can do a tie-up with the right insurtechs and bring them in to help you in different scenarios. But I would say the the starting point is the AI transformation. For the AI transformation is the AI strategy. So once you have a robust strategy, there's no stopping you or your company. Then any product that you bring in, we can make it a success, and we can see where you are going to head and what your North Star is. So that's about me. That's about my company, and that is the vision that I am leading with to push the answer forward for the insurance industry, so that we are still the industry which is known for its innovation.